Hello, my name is Arthur Van Winkle, aka Red.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Van Winkle.
I'm Jacob Van Winkle.
And we're the Van Winkles.
I got us a little setup over here we're gonna cook off of if we don't get rained out. Here's my setup. This is my wet weather fire starting kit. We have char cloth, which we make, a 9-volt battery, and some steel wool. And I'm gonna start a fire with this. First thing I'm gonna do, take some steel wool, tear it off. I'm gonna fluff it up a bit, stick some char cotton in there. Just fluff it a little bit more. Alright. And then I'm gonna put my dry tinder on top of it. And I'm gonna have to leave a spot open to get in there. I'm gonna build a teepee around it. Then I'm gonna take my 9-volt battery. You want to make sure you keep your 9-volt battery covered up or it'll start it in your little tune. Now we're just gonna build the fire bigger. We're in business now.
And I think we've got another one right here. In fact, I don't think I know. It's a good one too. At the base of the mushroom, we got the mushroom now. Of course, flick it off real good. And that's a dandy there. We call these dryland fish around Kentucky, but they can be found all over the United States.
We've got another one. Check it out. The first butter of the day. Go ahead and pinch this booger off at the ground. And we call it a butter because of its color. Kind of like the color of butter. You see that, Jeff?
Barely.
Step it on in. Alright.
Yeah, right there.
What?
Yep.
Everything's wet. And it's windy. But we got a fire going now. Alright, we got our fire built and we built it on the rock because everything is wet. And now it's getting bigger. And we're gonna take and we're gonna shove it all over here into the fire pit. Everything is growing and it's getting bigger. Now that we got our fire going, let's shove it over here into this pit. Down in there because that wood's already dry and it's gonna burn. Now we got the fire moved into where we're gonna cook our meal.
We do some dry land fishing, and we call them dry land fish because they taste like fish. You batter them up like fried fish and fry them up in the pan. So we call them dry land fishing, but there's 1,000 ways you can fix these things.
I got a few things here for you out of the woods. We got dandelion greens, which are very, very, very nutritional. And we got wild onions and morel mushrooms. Now I'm going to show you what we're going to do with the dandelions. We want to pick the greens off of them, but you can save the bottoms. They're very, very nutritional. So we're just going to pick off the greens, because that's all we want this time. Now my old man, he can make some great, great dandelion wine. You wouldn't even imagine how good this stuff is. Now that we got the greens done, we're gonna take these wild onions and prepare them. I want to get all these roots up there. Now that I have the onions done, I set the chives to the side for later. We have the onions in there. Now we're going to start with the morels. Now keep in mind, we're in the wild, we don't have no utensils, so I'm using my fingers. We'll just kind of break it up in there. Next we have our bird. Usually we would have wild game, but since I didn't have any on hand today, I just picked up a Cornish hen, but any game bird will work. And we're gonna stuff it with all of our goodies. Just get it all in there. Alright, I wanted to show you all the goodies just stuffed in the bird from the woods. All natural. And next we're going to stick him on a stick, which I already grabbed a minute ago. I'm going to slide him on down there. Make sure our goodies don't fall out after we did that. Now, there's our bird on a stick.
It's down in the hole. Boys and girls, if you ain't got good eyesight, you just ain't, and know what you look for, you just ain't gonna do no justice out here. But a man with good eyesight, knows what he's looking for, can sure get him a good meal in a matter of a few minutes.
Alright, now we slid the bird all the way to the fork, so that way it will hold steady during your rotisserie as you're flipping it. And we have this, we're gonna set like that. And then the handy little trick, we'll place a rock on it, just so nothing bumps and falls off. And we're gonna let him cook like that for a little bit.